What is up, everybody? I'm the Retro Nerd, and welcome to another episode of Retro Night. And this time around, we are playing Ghostbusters 2 for the Game Boy. Yeah, now you're probably thinking, it's like, oh god, we dodged the bullet with Ghostbusters Nest. Well, I'm doing these on Thursday, the midnight release of Ghostbusters, be, midnight Friday night. But I'm doing these ahead of time, and they're going to be out on Thursday. I got this one and the real Ghostbusters as well coming out. The NES ones, I'm going to do the NES ones. I was thinking about doing them on Friday, but I was like, well, I would not have to do Final Fantasy Friday, but I was like, no, because I like just doing one show for Friday and that's it. So, I'm going to review the NES ones when the movie comes out on DVD. How about that, people? Because that'd be a Tuesday, and I can knock them out. Because Tuesday's the normal, 3-episode schedule for me. But anyways, let's start talking about Ghostbusters 2 for the Game Boy. Now you may be thinking, wow, this is a lot better than, the NES games and the real Ghostbuster game for the Game Boy. Well, you are correct, because this is nothing more than a port of the PAL version of the new Ghostbusters 2 game that came out in PAL regions. So, I think the UK mainly got it. I don't know if Japan got it, because that would be technically a PAL region as well. But I know the UK for sure, they got this type of game, but for the NES, we got it in Game Boy form, which is awesome because, everybody likes to take games on the go. Now, I didn't own this when I was a kid. This is my first time actually playing this, but I do remember seeing this a lot in my Super Mario Brothers comic books that I had. Because they had advertisements, and the one I always stared and looked at and like, oh man, I want to play that game, was Ghostbusters 2. So here's the thing. So you move around your Ghostbusters, you're in control of one, the other one just follows you. But what's cool is you get to choose which Ghostbuster you want to play as. You can play as Peter, Egon, Ray, or Winston. The first game to ever include Winston into it. Well, besides Ghostbusters 2 for the NES. But that's only towards the end when you have to get all 4 Ghostbusters to the end. But, it's cool, nonetheless. So, what happens is, with the A button, you can zap the ghost with the proton streams. Easy enough. You hold them in place. Y. The second player, who is controlled by the computer, comes over, and when you're ready, hit the B button, and he'll trap the ghost for you. Awesome, right? It's the first time, that it was actually a good Ghostbuster game. This is hella fun. I'm glad I own this. This is a really good game. I'm happy that I got to play it too for the first time as well. I can't say anything really bad about it. Besides, it's on the Game Boy, so it's gonna be in green and black. But hey, if you play it on Game Boy Color, they'll infuse some of the color. And, or the Game Boy Advance player, I think also the Super Game Boy might do it too. I'm not sure. Okay. So we're off that. So there's other things that are pretty cool in this game too, is when you're going through certain levels, there'll be another Ghostbuster hanging around, and you can pick him, you can go over to him and switch out one of your Ghostbusters. And it instantly makes you play as player 2. So whoever you had as player 2, so I started out with Egon and Ray, 2 of my favorite Ghostbusters. And then I met up with Peter, and I switched Egon out with Peter, and Peter became my player 2, why Ray became my player 1. But what was cool was that Peter gave me the slime blower, so I could go around sliming the ghosts instead of trapping them, which was also kind of cool and fun, And then there's certain items that you pick up and stuff like that. Like, I think there's like a axe/pickaxe or some shit like that, and I pick it up, and I can tear down one of the walls so I can get onto the other part of the area, so I can bust more of the ghost. Now, after each area, you do some boss battles. At the end of this video, towards the end of the video, you actually see me fight the Scoleri brothers from Ghostbusters 2 in the courtroom, which was fucking awesome. I was like, finally, a game that pretty much follows the movies. And then of course we have the Xbox 360 and the PS3 version of Ghostbusters as well, which are fun games but add a whole new story element. but to actually have a franchise, you know, like movie licensed game to actually sit there and follow the movie is pretty awesome. I like it. So this is a highly recommended game. Really fun, really awesome. Great for the Game Boy. Great addition for your Game Boy collection as well. If you don't own it, I highly recommend picking it up. I think I paid about anywhere from 15 to 20 for my copy. And I know that seems like a lot, but hey, it's kind of worth it sometimes when you want a really good Game Boy game. Especially if, you know, you still play the Game Boy on the go. You know, there's some people that actually do play the Game Boy on the go still. But for me, it was nice just to have and sit down and play for the first time ever. And always just like looking at the advertisements for it and be like, I want this game. And my stupid self, you know, I never asked for it. Because I played the other the NES Ghostbuster games, and I was like, oh, this game's shitty, you know. Maybe I shouldn't get the Game Boy game because it might be suckage too. But it wasn't until I saw the new Ghostbusters 2 PAL version of the game, I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet. And then when I found out that this one's a port of it to the Game Boy, I was like, oh, even fucking better. I gotta play it. It's a fucking amazing game for any Ghostbuster fan. Or if you're not even like a huge mega fan of Ghostbusters, but you like Ghostbusters enough, highly recommend playing it. Good game all around. And so I was thinking that, you know, maybe on Friday I could do 2 videos, but this one would be a little easier one for me to do. But I was thinking about doing the Retro Nerd collections and showing off all my Ghostbusters stuff. I think people would actually get a kick out of that and actually see a lot of the shit I have of Ghostbuster gear. So, anyways, guys, I've been the Retro Nerd. Tune in on Friday for that episode I was just talking about, the Retro Nerd collections of Ghostbuster stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend picking up Ghostbusters 2 for the Game Boy. Fantastic game. But anyways, guys, like I said, I was the Retro Nerd. This has been an episode of Retro Night, and we were playing Ghostbusters 2 for the Game Boy. Fucking sweet ass game. Retro Nerd out.